Hello, my name is Lilo Siegel. Welcome to my tutorial Sewing Made Easy. I would like to show to you today how to make very easy and quick a zipper pocket that you can put in any trousers, skirts, your children's clothes or wherever you want to. So we're going to start right now. Watch out for this. For my zipper pocket, I got a leftover piece, which is suggested by me in case if you have not done so much sewing yet. I have my zipper and I have 2 pocket facing pieces. And of course you need 2 pieces of pocket linings. Now my pocket facing piece, I already put some pocket lining on, some interfacing, because that makes it much easier for me to do this pocket. The length of my zipper that I bought will tell me the length exactly as the opening for this pocket, for this zipper pocket will be. Yep. We start first of all with a zipper. As I've done here already, as you can see, I stitched the opening of the zipper over because that will make it much easier for me to put it later on under my opening. So here we take the pocket facing piece, and first of all you will draw the width and the length onto this pocket facing piece on. I usually do this with a pattern. I look how wide can I go over the zippers, as I want this one really to show at the end. I don't want to cover it up. And with this pattern that I have, I now can draw exactly the width onto my pocket facing piece that I have, which how I will do my opening. As you can see now, the way I've drawn it on, I want to slightly make it longer, because otherwise you might have problems later on with the foot to be able to stitch around, because the foot otherwise will be pushed away from the zipper. So leave, depending on the width of your zipper of your foot from the machine, you will have to leave 4 or 5 millimeters space on each end. So you draw this, as I said, all the way around in a square. Then you position it exactly there where you would like to have this pocket. In my case now, I decided to put it right in this position. Now you can see our lines are really exactly parallel in the same width next to each other. Now, to do a pocket really nice for it to lie well, it is always better towards the middle to slightly go inward with your stitching, because otherwise if you stay exactly on that line, it might pull in when the pocket is finished, and that we do not want. So we will start out straight first, but then do a slight curve towards the inside. At the end, of course, you have to go again exactly on your line, the same on the 2 end sides. You have to stay exactly on the line, but on the long side again you slightly stitch inward in a little curve. But you will see this now while we do this. I start at this end without stitching back and forward, because at the end I will slightly stitch over that again. So as you could see, you see it later on better when it's finished, I've done a slight curve inward from my line that I've drawn. Always make sure you have the needle in the material when you turn, otherwise you might get a funny edge there. Now I go slightly inward again, but here 2 centimeters before the end, I'm on my line again. I go down the short side now, and now I turn it once more, and I just stitch exactly on my first stitch over again, so I don't need to go back and forward. Now when you look at this carefully, you can very well see that I've really gone inwards in the middle of this pocket. And then afterwards, when you're finished with it, it will not pull anywhere. Now we have to cut it open. When you do a welt pocket, you always have to put the underneath pieces away. Not so with this pocket. So first of all, draw yourself, if you're not firm with it, a line down the middle between your two sewing seams and draw a triangle on the top. Now see, here we have to cut both materials through, not like on a welt pocket where you only cut the upper material. Right in the middle to your point that you draw yourself or drew yourself. Now exactly onto the corner stitch that you got there. Make sure not to cut that stitch through, then the whole pocket will open up in the corners and you can't pull it through. And also this side you of course can draw yourself again if you wish. Otherwise, if you're firm by what you're doing, then just exactly go with your scissors, with the front of your scissors, exactly into that corner. The worst and the most difficult part is done already. Now you just pull it over to the left side, nicely into the corners. And of course now you have the possibility of either going to your ironing board, iron it all flat, and it lies nicely there. But if you're lazy as me, you don't go to the ironing board. You just go onto your pocket facing piece and stitch it together with the seam that's there flat. You don't need to go back and forward because this is only something to hold this particular piece down for you. And you do exactly the same with the other side. Push it towards the middle, towards your hole. Now the seam is underneath and you stitch on the pocket facing piece this 1 millimeter down so it's nice and flat. When you pull it through now to the left side, into the corners nicely pulled, you can see when you turn it that it already has the total shape. If you ironed it, it would have a similar effect, of course. Now we take the zipper and we always start on the short side, putting the end of the zipper under the material first. Put it right in position, nicely in the middle, and look on the other side that you got on both sides the same amount standing over, to be able to just get past with your foot from the machine. Also here I do not stitch backward and forward because I rather, when I come around from the other side, I stitch another stitches over again, which holds it just as good, but it's not so much seen as if you go back and forward with the machine all the time. Now you must check that you got exactly the same amount on both sides, the zipper showing, nice and even, because then you know you also have enough space underneath to really be stitching on the zipper and not that you lose it underneath. I rather check once more if I'm not sure, then stitch on, because there's nothing worse than having to open up a seam again. It's always better to be able to do it in one go. So I go all the way to the end, exactly to the corner on the material, go on the short side down, turn my piece around. Now again you must look very carefully that you got on each side the zipper shown the same way. Now I close my zipper again. Now you can really see it well, how it's nicely lying there. I stitch all the way to the end, and don't forget I haven't been back and forward stitching, so I just go over 3-4 stitches again over my first seam that I had there already. That's how easy it was. It is actually finished. Of course, now you still have to put an extra pocket facing piece behind, which can be from your upper material, or another contrast if you wish, like the zipper. If the zipper is white, you can put a white pocket facing piece behind, or a different color if it's for your children and it's supposed to be nice and colorful. It's all up to you. So all you have to do is stitch whichever pocket facing piece you wish behind. Then take your pocket linings that you got. And now you can see on there, although I've done a big curve by stitching the first piece on, it's flat and it's not pulling in. It maybe would have been pulling in if I would have not done this curve behind. Then you stitch your 2 pocket linings on, close it, and your pocket is finished. Now have much fun with repeating this nice pocket. Bye.